Is classical music boring? Beethoven and Mozart. No. It's freaking badass. Some of this stuff is super badass. Let me show you this, okay? This guy, which I can't even pronounce his name, Dmitri Shostakovich. He did a waltz. You guys know this waltz. First of all, look how serious he is. Look how serious this man is. Okay, so about this guy. First of all, that's not the song that I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this song. Okay, so I just give you a taste. If you want to listen to the whole thing, go do it, because it was crazy. So the point is that this man, apparently he was very depressed during this period of time, and he was contemplating on things that should not be named, and he was always scared of Stalin and always scared of everything that's been going on, because, you know, there's some strict regime back in the day during this period of time. That's what the song basically represents, a lot of fear. So when I heard this song, I had the most intense goosebumps I've ever had in my entire life. I went to the concert for some Halloween stuff, some classic Halloween stuff. I don't remember which one it was. And I just lost my marbles, because it was so beautiful and amazing and wonderful. And like, if you think about it, back in the day, that's how they express themselves. Like, we express ourselves in a different way. Like the artists that we have now, like Ariana Grande and all these other people, like they express themselves with the music and the tools that they have now, right? Okay, guys, I'm gonna give a hot take. Maybe I'm wrong, and I shouldn't think this way. Obviously, they're professionals. Like, I just feel like they have like a gift, right? Than the average person, like geniuses. That's kind of like what I'm looking for, like a genius. So I heard this man's song, I lost my marbles, and then I went down a ADHD rabbit hole, and I just went crazy looking at different composers and stuff like that. So this guy, right? Look at Dmitri, my boy. Wait, oh, you can hear his voice?
Час тому назад я закончил партитуру 2 частей большого симфонического сочинения. Если это сочинение мне удастся написать хорошо, удастся закончить 3-ю и 4-ю.
Is that Russian? I think, yeah, it's Soviet Union Russian, yes. Shostakovich in 1942. He was born in 1906, St. Petersburg, Russia, and he died in Moscow, Soviet Union. Shostakovich was the second of 3 children in Dmitri Bolshevik. I'm so sorry. I cannot pronounce. I apologize. I need to do better. He also attended music history classes. Phenomenal. This guy is so cool. And I'm just so interested in his life. And I want to learn about him. So, okay. So what I do know is that he decided to work on an opera. And the media, like, tore him apart. Can we watch a video to understand this man's life?
Shostakovich will go down in history as the man that created Joseph Stalin's soundtrack. But the two men have a complicated relationship, as is almost always the case with anyone and the mischievous, murderous tyrant of the USSR. Stalin alternates between praise and a personal dislike to his work. As a result, Shostakovich is both an instrument and a victim of the Soviet propaganda machine.
Okay, yeah, so he has to abide by the Soviet Union's kind of image. He wanted to compose his music, and he didn't want to feel tied down to like having to be completely exactly what they wanted. So he rebelled a lot, and I think that rebellion also made him really scared, because if they don't like it, well, I mean, they're gonna try to kidnap him and torture him and do whatever the hell that they did back then, because the Soviet Union was not very friendly during that period of time or ever.
In 1942, he is not in Stalin's favor since some time, but at the height of the siege of Leningrad, he's on the cusp of soundtracking both the Soviet people's resistance to the Nazi invasion and Stalin himself.
World War II!
I'm Spartacus Olson. Welcome to the first of 3 extra bio episodes that have been chosen by you in a viewer's poll.
I love this guy.
This one is Dmitri Dmitrievich Shostakovich.
I did that pretty good. Dmitri Shostakovich, right? I said Shostakovich.
Shostakovich is born in St. Petersburg on September 25th, 1906, into a musical family.
Guys, I want to be part of a musical family. Low key, that's kind of what I was gonna getting at. Like, what a privilege to be part of a musical family. You know what I mean? Like, not in a bad way. Like, I think it's a good thing for kids to be kids and stuff like that, but like imagine you're like, okay, guys, we're gonna redo your lives and you're gonna be reincarnated. What would you like to do in your next career path? And you're just like, I want to be a violinist. Okay, we're gonna start you on the violin at the age of 3. And then some people are gonna be like, well, that's horrible, they shouldn't do that, because then it's the parents are putting their dreams on the kid. Well, you could get the kid to explore, like your kid, and be like, hey, Timothy, do you want to try piano? And then you put him in piano class, and he doesn't like piano class. And you're like, all right, do you want to try baseball? Put him in baseball. Does he like baseball? And there, I feel like it's fair. You just want him to, like, find something, or her to find something that they kind of like. Because, like, I'm gonna be honest, guys, like, I didn't really get that. I didn't get that as a kid. I just kind of, like, went to school and did whatever. I did do guitar in high school. That was pretty cool, but I am very lazy, or I wouldn't say lazy. I have ADHD, so some of the things were very hard to commit to. But I did guitar for a couple years. I don't remember how to read music. Don't ask me. But now that I'm into classical music era and learning about classical music, your girl wants to learn about classical music and reading music again. Anyway, from a young age, Mozart displayed extraordinary musical talent, composing his first piece at the age of 5. Imagine being 5 and writing your own music. Freaking crazy. And now we have a bunch of iPad kids running around. It's because, you know what it is too? I feel like as human beings, we're bored a lot. We're bored. We're extremely bored. And we fill our boredom now with consuming content. And it's not bad, because humans are meant to be bored. Like, that is our calling in a way. Like, we're meant to be bored, and that's how we discover things and we do things. Because if you think about it, they're probably bored as shit, and they're like, okay, what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna read music. I'm gonna learn how to do this, or I'm gonna learn how to do that. And it's also very societal based too, because like back in the day, you'll literally see like the girls like learning how to play piano, or learning how to quilt, or learning how to do whatever it is, because like they need skills to like attract a partner, which to this day, I mean, you still technically do that, but I mean, you also kind of just try to survive and be the healthiest version you can be. Like, you try to go to the gym, and then you try to eat healthy, and then you also have to have a job, and then you gotta go to school, and then you just gotta, those are the basics. Anyway, do people have hobbies anymore? Like, really, do people have I'm going on a different tangent. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Do people have hobbies anymore? Or is it that it's not that we don't have hobbies, we're just too tired. Because, like, let's say you're a kid and you're privileged, because having extracurricular activities after school does cost money. And unless your school has those extracurricular activities, you have to buy them, right? Your mom or dad has to go buy those extracurricular activities, right? When I used to go to school and then I would go home from school, I would watch TV. That's what I would do, right? I know that people have their kids, like, they go to soccer practice, or they go to like violin class or ballet or whatever the hell. I didn't do any of that until high school. But even high school, it was because high school provided that. That was an elective course that I decided to take. And it's also not just that. It's also like, does the kid or does the child or the teenager want to do those things? That's another thing. Because like sometimes like you just kind of want to relax and just hang out with your friends and just chill. Like, so do we still have hobbies, everybody? In this day and age, do we still have hobbies? Because when I go to work and I come home after work, I don't want to do anything. That's why like scrolling on TikTok, I feel like is like a thing. Because it's just, people are just tired. And then we feel depressed because we don't have time or anything to do. Guys, I know, it's depressing. But guys, do not lose hope. We can still have hobbies, okay? Let me know in the comments, like for real. Do you guys have a hobby? I don't really have a hobby. My hobby, besides, stings, is like, I don't know, like I play some cozy games sometimes. Like I like Disney Dreamlight Valley, but I don't stick with it. It's not like, oh yeah, I play cozy games. Like I don't. Like I play cozy games sometimes. I game sometimes. That's a hobby, right? I lay down and watch TikTok. Is that a hobby? Probably not. I'm trying to explore myself, I guess, in that aspect of like, what the hell do I like? And when you're a kid, you probably remember certain things you like. Like, obviously I like music. That's something that I like. If I said I play guitar for a couple years in high school, and obviously I'm talking about classical music, obviously I like music. But I'm not like a person who is prestiged in music, who started music as a young age and is like Mozart, dude. Like, that's not my calling. That's not my career. And they'd be like, what's your career? I don't know. It just worked to survive. And even then, some people have careers and they're not passionate about it. They just have to do it because they have to make money. So then how do you become passionate about it? You know what I mean? Like, what is passion? And then people say all the time, like, oh, follow your passion and that will be your job. Not necessarily. Because you have to make money to survive. And then, like, if you love something, it's work. You know what I mean? Because you have to put food on. It's just a whole complicated mess. Anyway, guys, I hope you have hobbies. If you have hobbies, let me know in the comments what the hell hobbies do you have and how long you've been doing those hobbies. Like, I feel like that's something that I need to explore. Low key, I wanted to talk about this separately, but I'm gonna talk about it now because I don't care. This classical music also makes me want to explore ballet, and ballet is another thing that is very, like, you have to start at a young age. You don't have to. Children start ballet as early as 2.5 years old to 3, while adults can begin at any age, making ballet accessible to everyone. Okay, so ballet is accessible to everyone. But if you start at a young age, you just have those muscle memories intact and you're just flawless at what you do because you've been doing it since you were a child. It's just crazy to me. But then I don't know, I have black and white thinking. You don't have to be so perfect at something. Like, a hobby could be something you just enjoy and that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just in my brain. I kind of wish that I started something at a young age or whatever, so I have like this kind of like talent or skill or something. I think that's normal. I think humans want to feel special, and that's fine. Anyway, going back to this guy, where was Shostakovich?
His mother is an accomplished pianist and his father a keen singer. And young Dmitri's childhood is filled with trips to the opera and concerts at the family home. He's introduced to the piano by his mother at the age of 8, displaying an exceptional talent from the start.
Hold on. That's a whole other thing too. If you start at a young age, you're gonna soak up all the stuff like a sponge because you're young and your neurons are connecting and making new connections. So you're gonna get it faster. That's why learning a language as a child is easier than as an adult, because your brain is constantly learning.
Shostakovich's comfortable middle-class life becomes somewhat less comfortable after the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917. They still managed to enroll Dmitri at the newly renamed Petrograd Conservatory in 1919 to study piano and composition. In fact, it does so well that Stalin himself wants to see what the fuss is all about. He decides to attend a performance at the Bolshoi Theater on the evening of January 26, 1936.
In 1960 marked another turning point in his life. He joined the Communist Party. The government wanted to appoint him to chairman, but hold that position was required to obtain a party membership. This event has variously been interpreted as a show of commitment, a mark of cowardice, and a result of political pressure and his free decision. On the other hand, his son recalled that the event reduced Shostakovich to tears, and then he later told his wife that he has been blackmailed. You see what I'm saying, bro? He was suffering. Look, Stravinsky's musical response to these personal crises was the 8th string quartet, composed only in 3 days. So that's why this song is so powerful, because of what he was going through. This song is amazing, and the history of classical music is what makes me really, really excited and to learn about, and his personal struggles that he went through, and it's reflective on his music. So that's cool. That's who he is. USSR crazy stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to another composer that you should all know about. You guys know about the Nutcracker, right? And Swan Lake. This guy, he's a Russian composer, okay? Shostakovich, this man. It is gorgeous, and it is part of the Romantic era in classical music. In classical music, you have different eras, okay? You have the medieval, you have the Renaissance era, you have the Baroque era, which I think also Bach was part of the Baroque era. And then you got classical, you got romantic, you got modern, you got postmodern. You got so many different eras of classical music, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Vivaldi How can I forget about my boy Vivaldi, dude? If you don't know this man, he did all the violin solos, okay? He did the 4 seasons. He did summer, winter, springs, you know, etc., etc. This man as well. Go watch the Nutcracker. Go watch some ballets. Because that's what I'm going to do this season. Christmas season is among us. I'm going to go watch some ballets. And they have some really strict rules in ballet, okay? You have to have your hands a certain way, your feet a certain way, you have to be perfectly still, you can't move too much, you have to be weightless, flightless, and elegant. It's crazy, and I feel like, oh my god, I can do that. I probably can't, but I kind of want to try, you know, because YOLO, because life is short, guys, and it's still yet the longest thing we will ever do. Guys, grab the bull by the horn, do new things, don't care if you haven't played piano since you were 5 years old. Just do it anyway. Damn, I want to see this guy. 5-minute Mozart. This is really good.
Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky was born on May 7, 1840 in Votkinsk, Russia. Unlike in many European countries, a serious career in music was not as socially acceptable in Russia during this time. For this reason, Tchaikovsky first studied law and then worked for a few years as a government clerk.
Bro, my boy just having a crisis. Because that happens, man. Sometimes it's like, no, bro, don't study music. Don't be a YouTuber. Don't be this, because it's too risky.
His inner drive to become a musician eventually led him to quit his job and in 1861 entered the St. Petersburg Conservatory, where he studied composition under Anton Rubinstein. After graduating in 1860...
Something I do want to point out. Why is it all white men? Everything that I've been talking about has been white men, and I don't like it. There's not one woman in here because women were not represented back in the day with the classical music because we hate them for some freaking reason. I don't understand why, but you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for the classical woman, but I know that they're amazing. Is he gay, dude? Love in the Shadows. Tchaikovsky's censored letters. Tchaikovsky's letters have been withheld from the publication because they contain references to his homosexuality. Finally, in 2018, scholar Miranda published an English translation of the letters uncovering passages that had been suppressed by Russian censors. Tchaikovsky's sexuality remains a subject of debate in Russia. Many believe spread rumors about the composer being gay in order to discredit him. Why would you discredit my boy, dude? Why are we afraid of gayness? So stupid. Some of the question is... Okay, wait, hold on. Wait, shut up. The Center report Human Rights Watch identifies Russia among the most repressive countries regarding LGBTQ+ rights, citing government policies that brand LGBTQ+ community as extremists, participating in or financing an extremist organization and a criminal offense in Russia, punishable up to 12 years in prison. Excuse me? Is this real? You gotta be careful what you read, y'all. Here's the backstory. In 1876, Tchaikovsky wrote Modest, resigned himself to a loveless marriage and attempt to rid himself of his attraction to men once and for all. Bukovla had become obsessed with Tchaikovsky around this time. Apparently, he had threatened suicide if they could not be together. What the? Dude, that's bad. Meanwhile, Tchaikovsky was in the midst of an affair with violinist Holsev Kocht, who he rather cruelly to witness eventual marriage to McClaw, unable to live the lie. Tchaikovsky had a nervous breakdown. Although Tchaikovsky cannot express his sexuality in public, it was perhaps a comfort that he could at least share his aspect of his identity with his brothers. Modest and talented writer, who was also gay himself, eventually became the steward of Tchaikovsky's legacy and oversaw the creation of Tchaikovsky State House Museum in Klin, just outside of the Moscow, where Tchaikovsky archives are currently housed. Bro, like, life is hard, dude.
Of all of his compositions, his contribution to the traditional ballet repertoire is what keeps Tchaikovsky a household name to this day. 3 of his most renowned ballets include Swan Lake,
Ah, na 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 na. You like that shit?
Sleeping Beauty,
I didn't know that. Look at the way they have their hands, guys. Ballet, you have to have your hands a certain way. Everything has to be a certain way.
and The Nutcracker.
Yay! I'm gonna go watch The Nutcracker this year, y'all.
Piotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky died of cholera poisoning on November 6th,
What? How did he die?
Piotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky died of cholera poisoning on November 6th, 1893 in St. Petersburg, Russia at the age of 53.
How did he die? Suicide or murder? Bro, what's with all these composers trying to hurt themselves? If you guys like what's going on right now, please subscribe. It shows your absolutely enthusiasm of the Instinct Show, which I hope that you're enjoying. I hope that it brings you some joy and you learn something new, because I'm learning something new. Like, hello? Okay, wait, one more. I want to learn about Beethoven. You know what's sad about Beethoven, dude? I mean, we all know this, right? He became deaf. Imagine loving music so much. Imagine loving your craft so much, and then you can't hear it anymore. You can't see it anymore. Like, imagine me. Let's knock on wood. Okay, guys, don't be rude. But, like, I love doing what I'm doing, right? Imagine I lost my voice. How the hell am I supposed to do my passion if I don't have my yapping voice? What the fuck, man?
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born on January 27, 1756 in Salzburg, Austria. A child prodigy, he learned music from his father Leopold, a talented composer, court violinist, and author of an important book on violin technique entitled Treatise on Fundamental Principles of Violin Playing.
I have something to say. He had a sister. Mozart had a sister. And she was also absolutely amazing and smart and wonderful. And I heard a little bird told me that his father told his daughter that she doesn't need to be traveling around the world making music anymore, that she needs to be a housewife. You see what I'm saying, guys? Upset.
From the age of 6, Mozart was touted around Europe and forced to perform for various aristocrats, one of which being Queen Marie Antoinette of France. Some of his most recognizable works today include Symphony No. 40, and Eine kleine Nachtmusik, as well as numerous works on the piano, such as Piano Sonata No. 16 in C major,
You can't ask me to read that, because I don't know how to read that at all. Like, I know how to read it, but I don't know how to read it. I know this is a G right here. This is a G. That's a G. That's an E. Okay? We also have face, F-A-C-E, right there. So this is probably a C. This is an A. I have to relearn how to read music, y'all.
and Rondo alla Turca. Before his death in 1791,
oh my god. Classic.
Mozart was commissioned to compose a Requiem Mass by an unnamed patron who insisted on remaining anonymous. During this time, Mozart fell suddenly ill. He was certain that he was being poisoned and that the Requiem he was composing would be his own. It was rumored, though not proven, that he may have been poisoned by Italian composer Antonio Salieri. Mozart died in Vienna, Austria.
You see what I'm saying? Why do people want to ruin each other, dude? Like, why are you poisoning my boy? And I'm sorry, not in a bad way. I have never heard of this man.
Italian composer Antonio Salieri. Mozart died in Vienna, Austria on December 5th, 1791 at the age of 35.
35 freaking years old. How young is that? Guys, look, all I learned is that everybody's life that I've so far have seen in these composers, one, they're depressed. Regardless of being a prodigy and a genius, they're depressed. They're depressed and they have a lot of issues. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna leave you with this message. Life is messed up sometimes. And it will take away your marbles and your ball sacks. And you know what you gotta do? You gotta be your own Mozart. You gotta be your own Tchaikovsky. And you gotta be your own Vivaldi. And you gotta be like, you know what? I'm gonna chase my dreams even though life wants to kick me in the nuts. And if you don't have nuts, in the ovaries. And if you don't have ovaries, well, in the boobies. And if you don't have boobies, well, then in your soul, okay? That's the only way that's gonna work. And you gotta go achieve your dreams. But you know what? You're gonna do it because you are the best. And you gotta believe in yourself. And you gotta chase your little dreams. Okay, guys? Alright, amazing. Guys, let's go to comment corner. The last video that I made, reading Reddit scary ghost stories. We have a comment from Joel. Do you think any of these stories are real, Mins? I don't think you would have any ghost stories. You're too pure. I think that some of these are real, yes. I think, are they ghosts? Probably not. But maybe they are. Who knows? Anyway, you're the best, Joe. Thank you for the comments on this. So far, okay, so fun facts. Tchaikovsky's canons. Okay, guys, this is actually a fun fact that I'm going to give you, okay, for today. Tchaikovsky has a song called 1812 Overture. Okay, and in that song, there are freaking cannons in the song. And there's a bell tower. Yes, you heard it right. In order to play this in an orchestra, you also need... Why am I talking like that? In order to play this in an orchestra, you also need cannons. And you also need a bell tower. Or not. It is not 1812 Overture. Anyway, that's about it, guys. Anything... Besides of that, the hyper focus of the week is classical music and learning about classical music and learning about composers. Learning how to play piano, learning how to do this. I did buy a violin. Did I return it? Yes. Yes, I did. Why did I return it? Because the pegs were slipping. The pegs were slipping and I couldn't deal with it. And you know what? I learned my lesson. If you want to buy something, you have to buy good quality, y'all. Don't go cheap. Don't go cheap. Even if you think, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use it that long. That's what I said. That's what I said. And you know what? It was annoying because every time I tuned it, it kept going out of tune. But if I would have bought a better violin, it wouldn't have happened. So learn from me. Buy the better quality instrument. Okay, so you don't have to go return a violin. And you know what? Instead of buying a new violin, I'm just going to play the piano because I have that at home. And I don't have a grand piano. I have a keyboard. And that's okay. All right, guys. Besides that, ballet, because ballet is freaking cool, but it looks like it's painful and it looks like it's perfectionist, and that might be not good for my brain, but I think it looks cool. Anyway, y'all, you guys are the best. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Please like the video and comment stinky. All right, if you're still here, comment stinky. You guys are the best. I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful time wherever you are in the world. And you are the best. Goodbye.